Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and great millstone who rule well. Peace and mercy to the Tazadak Akim out there that's laboring his truth with all sincerity. I want to say Shalom. All right, and today's topic, is a quick lesson. Is an in-transit lesson, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemiel Shah. All right, we're going to go into the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verses 10 through 11. All right, in this video, what inspired me to do this video, this lesson is, to give exhortation, to never forget of why we labor for Yahweh Shemiel Shah. That's one of the things that the, Apostle Gabar, our apostles go into, like, why are you in this thing? Why are we, serving the Lord? Why are you going out there on the highways and byways teaching? Because this truth is very serious. All right. And sometimes we have our highs, we have our lows in this ministry, in this faith. And, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemiel Shah, I was reading Revelation, the 3rd chapter, and it caught my eye was the 10th verse to 11, because it basically answers that question, man. We want to receive salvation, but ultimately we want to be the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven. We want to, we want to be saved. We want to be honored in the eyes of the Lord. Okay. So even through your highs, your ups and your downs in this faith, you always got to, keep going. All right. And never forget why you're laboring. As a matter of fact, before I get this, I'm going to get the book of Hebrews. Okay. Chapter 6, verse 10. It reads, "For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love." All right. So the Lord, he's not a power. All right, that's going to forget our labor and love, what is our labor? All right, our labor is going out there on the highways and hedges, being in season, out of season, doing the works of the Lord, going out there teaching to the lost sheep of Israel. All right, giving warning to the Lord's people. All right, making his word public unto the nations. All right, prophesying the downfall of this wicked kingdom, which is Babylon the Great, aka America. Okay, this is the labor of giving up our worldly desires. All right, the labor of just endurance. That's a form of laboring. All right, you suffering with Yahweh by Shemiel Shah. You're going through that tribulation. You're going through that purification. That's labor. Okay? It says, let me read it again. This is Hebrews chapter 6, verse 10. It says, "For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love." All right? Because we labor, all right, because we love Yahweh Shemiel Shah through the Spirit. So we prove our works and our love through laboring. All right. The scriptures speak about, if ye love me, ye would keep my commandments. So that's a part of the labor, keeping the Lord's commandments. It may sound simple, but it's heavy, because think about it. 2/3 of the nation of Israel, majority of the world, they're contrary to the scriptures. They don't follow the commandments. They don't keep the dietary laws. They don't keep the high holy days. They don't keep the Sabbath days holy. All right. They still committing adultery. They're murderers. They still sacrificing unto idols. They still eating shrimp, crab, pork, fish without fins and scales. Following after pagan customs. One main one is an American custom, being Americanized. All right, so the Lord is not going to forget our labor of love, the sacrifices and the love we show to the Lord, keeping those Passovers, enduring. All right, doing your lessons, studying, reading. Blessed is he that readeth. Okay? All right? It says, I'm going to continue on. It says, which ye have shewed towards his name. So we showed our works and our labor towards his name, which is his name. What's his name? Yahweh, which means he exists. Bahashem, which means in the name, and Yahweh Shah, which means he delivers, which are the correct names according to the Paleo Hebrew. And that's the correct names according to what the Lord has given us. His name is not Yahweh. His name is not Yahuwah. His name is not Yeshua. Because you see a lot of these guys, they still say Yahweh and Yeshua. No, his name is Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. Okay? And we're working, we showing our works. Our labor of works is towards those names. It's not towards Jesus Christ. It's not towards Allah. Okay? So the Lord is not going to forget us. Okay? Always remember that. The Lord is not going to forget us. Even though when you're going at your, when you facing your, you at your all-time low, the Lord never forgot your, your works. The Lord is always with us. Okay? The Lord is always with us. You always got to remember that. The Lord is always with us. So it's important to keep laboring, keep going, keep being dedicated. The scriptures speak about fight the good fight of faith. Because this fight that we're fighting is worthy, because we're going to inherit an everlasting kingdom. We're going to inherit an everlasting dominion. We're going to be joint rulers with Yahweh Shah. Do you know how heavy that is? We're going to be joint heirs with Yahweh Shah. Okay? The one, the power, the Lord's only forgotten, the Lord's only begotten Son. Okay? Which he gave everything to. So always remember what we fighting for. We're fighting for that, for the first, being those first fruits. We're fighting not to be destroyed. We're trying to prove our, prove our love to the Lord. A lot of people say they love the Lord, but you got to prove yourself. And the way we prove ourselves is by being a doer of the word and not a hearer only. So it says, which ye have shewed towards his name, and that ye have ministered to do the saints and do minister. All right. So we doing exactly what we supposed to do as, being those saints of Yahweh Shem Shah, which the saints are the Israelites, but, the elect of the Israelites. All right. The believers, the ones who believe and actually apply the Lord's word. Okay. So going back to Revelation, the 3rd chapter. Verse 10, it reads, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. All right. Now we have, and this is for the elect, man. It says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. All right. Those who kept the word of the Lord's patience, those who suffered, those who, those who's being mocked at for laboring for the Lord. Those who went out there and, sacrificed, everything for the Lord, sacrificed, you made a sacrifice your family, you're spending time with your family. And mind you, the Lord gives you all these things and allows you to, have balance. Okay. But the point is, you put the Lord first, and sometimes you have to go through hell at home just so you could, do the work of the Lord. You may want to have, have time to yourself to read and study, but your lady, she wants attention. Your children want attention, and you put up with it. Like, what? Nah, this is what comes first. All right. You going out there on the highways, teaching in the cold. Okay, teaching in brutal, weather. Teaching in the snow, teaching in the rain. All right. Fighting your flesh. That's suffering, man. We fighting something that's going against the spirit. You know? So I'm going to read it again. This is Revelation 3:10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. And that's soon going to come. That hour of temptation when the world is going to be tried, as it speaks on. You know, that hour of temptation going into what? Jacob's trouble, famine, tribulation, and ultimately, which is going to lead into what? The mark of the beast. All right? The mark of the beast being made mandatory throughout the four corners of the earth. All right? Which the mark of the beast is the RFID chip. All right? Which they're going to try to, Esau is going to try to, microchip everybody. Because that's going to be the new system. All right? That's going to be the new way of living. All right? Being microchipped. But the Lord said what? Since we kept his word, since we kept, the word of his patience, he's going to keep us away from that hour of temptation. Meaning what? We're going to be, the elect are going to be good. And Lord willing, I'm one of the elect because I want to be good in those times. I want my family or, my wives, my children, my family to be good, the Akim to be good. So the Lord said he's gonna keep us away from the hour of temptation. All right? He's gonna preserve us, he's gonna protect us. Even if you get snatched up in those concentration camps. Always remember the scriptures. All right, 144, Barak Atah B'Shem El Shah. Always remember the scriptures, man. It says the scriptures are written for our learning. Look what, when Daniel was thrown in the lion's den, the Lord sent, all right, the angels to close the lion's mouth. All right, so Daniel won't be, consumed by those lions or be devoured. All right. Look at the three wise men of Babylon, Abednego, Meshach, and Shadrach, when they was thrown in the furnace of fire. Who was with them? Yahweh Shah. All right. So we always have to remember the scriptures, man, as well. That's why Isaiah 33:6 states that what? For wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. All right. So this wisdom is going to increase us in the times of the hour and temptations, as well as the Lord preserving us, protecting us. All right. And whatever, a lot we may fall in, the Lord is going to give you the spirit to endure. Okay. It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So this microchip, this mark of the beast is gonna happen upon all the world, all the four corners of the earth. All right. So no matter where you go, you have smart guys who may think that just because they live in another island that they're not going to be tested. No, you're going to be tried, because this whole world is ran through the vibration of Esau, is ruled by Esau, the so-called white man. Like, for example, Barbados, that's ruled, that's an independent country, but is really is a vassal to Great Britain. Just like all these other Caribbean islands, they're vassals to the countries in Europe, to France, Spain. All right, and we know the elites, they live in Europe, they live in Great Britain and things of that nature. So all this, the whole world is going to be tried. It's going to be everywhere. Everybody's going to be microchipped, man. That's going to be the new way of living. But only the elect, those who kept, the believers, those who kept his word and his patience, are going to be preserved. And this is what we're fighting for, to be preserved. It reads verse 11, behold, I come quickly. All right, the Lord is coming quickly. That's why the scriptures say, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, put not off from day to day. Because the Lord he's coming quickly. The scriptures speak about, Yahweh Shah stated that he has shortened the days for the elect's sake. So time is going by fast. So the Lord he's coming quickly. So keep fighting, keep enduring. Keep holding on to that faith. Keep praying to the Lord. Keep fasting. Okay? Keep doing the spiritual things you got to do in order for you to just remain calm in the spirit, man. All right? Because the Lord is coming quickly. And we see it. we see about watching the news. We see that we're in the times. We definitely in the last days of the last days. We're definitely in those times. So we just got to keep going, keep praying, keep fasting, keep doing the work. It says, hold that fast which thou hast. So we have to hold out that fast which we have, which is this word. Okay? Whatever you have, if you're a new brother and let's say the dollar crashes tomorrow, man, hold fast to what you have, which is the names. Okay? Which is Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Hold fast to, what you know. You may know, that the mark of the beast is the microchip, and World War III. If you were just a very new listener, you have to hold fast to what you have, and to what the Lord gave you, to the portion that the Lord gave you, to the faith that the Lord gave you. It says that no man take thy crown. All right? So don't allow nobody or no tribulation, or whatever, or Satan, allow you to denounce the faith. You got to keep holding on to your crown, to that reward. All right? Which that reward is going to be what? Being the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven, man. Being a part of that government body. Being a part of the elect. Okay? And like I mentioned in Hebrews, the 6th chapter, the Lord did not forget our labor of love. Okay? So we have to keep holding fast, and so that no one could take our crown, man. All right? Keep praying, keep fasting. All right? Keep going through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right? And with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And with that, shalom.